My name's Paul Cronin. I'm a franchisee with Platinum Property Partners. I'm based in Camberley in Surrey, and I have my property portfolio which is running very successfully in that area. I had this light bulb moment when I read this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I realised that Platinum Property Partners is the only possible choice for me for two key reasons. One is that I will have a passive income from this franchise. I don't have to sell anymore. With all these other franchises, although they're very good businesses, you have to keep selling, and if you're not selling, your business doesn't exist. But also, with the other franchises, what do you end up with at the end of your 5-year agreement? You probably end up with some plants and equipment and goodwill. With this franchise, I end up with a property portfolio, so appreciating assets. Now, this business is based on cash flow, not capital growth, but of course, capital growth will be there in the medium to long term. But the key thing about this franchise is we make record-breaking profits from buy-to-let. Typical yields for buy-to-let landlords around 5%, we're making 3 times that. It is the most profitable way to invest in buy-to-let residential property in the UK, and joining the franchise was the best decision I ever made. The thing about our investment model is we're not worried about capital growth. We're willing to pay full price for a residential property if it works for us, and we have very specific requirements about the sorts of properties we want. But as I said, our business is not based on capital growth. And most property investors that have not been successful have tried to buy for short-term capital growth. They believe the salesman that's selling the new build apartment that they're getting a discount, and then when they try to finance or refinance, they find out that they can't get their money out. We're not worried about capital growth. This is all about income, very profitable renting. But in the long term, we will have capital growth in our properties. So we have a profitable business based on appreciating assets, which is a great business model. What we do is we do shared housing for young working professionals on an all-inclusive basis. So we provide high-quality, low-cost housing. We also value the tenants highly. They're our customers, and we treat them very well. And I believe that this is an essential first step on the housing ladder for young people. And there is an enormous demand for a number of reasons. First of all, economic need. It's very difficult for young people to raise finance or raise the deposits. People are leaving university with debts, but also I think there's less of a stigma about renting now. We have this concept called generation rent, and young people are much more willing to rent than buy. And another reason is that traditionally in the past, people would possibly get a job, settle down and live in the same town, but we have a mobile workforce now, so people don't necessarily know where they're going to be for the long term. So renting is a very convenient option, especially for young people.